And I'm here today with Predaplant Decklist. So I will be showing off my Predaplant deck. Well, not mine, my friend's. So huge shout out to him, the same friend who had Ghost Tricks. So yeah, this deck works on fusion summoning, so it will practically die off when Link monsters come out. But until then, it's a pretty good deck. So to start off with monsters, first I run three Gofus, the Vague Shadows, Blackwing monsters. When he is special summoned, I can special summon two other tokens to his side. These tokens can not be used for tribute or as synchro material, so they're used for fusion material, of course. So then there's Fire Blossoms, 3 pieces. So when I can tribute this card from the field to special summon another, I can tribute one plant monster. So I can tribute him as well to special summon another plant monster. I use this just when I have one in my hand, summon, tribute, summon another from my deck, tribute, summon another from my deck. So I go to all three of my Fire Blossoms, and I special summon a Predaplant monster. Then there is Lunalight Black Sheep. The effect of Black Sheep used in this deck is that when I can discard her from my hand to add to my hand one polymerization card from my deck. Then there are two Malefic Cyber End Dragons. This card is used either to summon and use it as a fusion material on the field or as beat stick since it has 4000 attack, or it is used as a fusion material in my hand. Next there goes a Max C. Max C is a card which allows you to draw when your opponent special summons a monster. You just discard it, then draw cards for each special summon your opponent makes from that point forward. Then there are three. Just a second, I need to read this. Predaplant Chlamydosnu. I'm butchering its name. I'm sorry for that. This card is basically a super polymerization. Once it's on the field, you can fusion summon with its effect using him and monsters in your hand, field, and all the monsters that have Predaplant counters. This deck doesn't use Predaplant counters on monsters. Maybe I can show off a build which uses that mechanic as well. Then there is one Predaplant Cordyceps. This card, on the second during the standby phase, while this card is in the graveyard, you can banish it to special summon two Predaplant monsters from your graveyard. You cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except for fusion monsters, and I can't normal summon or set monsters that turn as well. Then there go two Predaplant Darlingtona Cobra. When this card is special summoned by another Predaplant's effect, I can search out a polymerization card from my deck, or polymerization or fusion card from my deck. That effect can be used only once per duel. Well, it would be banned if it was that overpowered. Then there's Orphis Scorpio. When this card is normal or special summoned, I can discard one card from my hand to special summon another Predaplant monster from my deck. And usually you normal summon Predaplant Orphis Scorpio, discard a card, and then special summon Cobra from your deck. Then there goes three Predaplant Saracanans. I guess that's how you read it. This card is a hand trap, so you can special summon it when your opponent declares a direct attack, and if he continues the attack and destroys it, when this card leaves the field, I can search a Predap card from my deck. Then that's it for the monsters. Then there will be many fusion type spell cards in the rest of the deck, in spell cards. So yeah, first to start off, two Allure of Darkness. Since all of the monsters in this deck are dark except Fire Blossom, This card is pretty useful in this deck. Then there goes Dark Hold, just to clear your opponent's field of all monsters that might cause you trouble. Then there's Dragon's Mirror, used to summon dragon fusion type monsters from your graveyard by banishing monsters from the field or from the graveyard. Then there's Flash Fusion. It's a quick play fusion spell card. You can fusion summon using monsters I control, and I have to destroy that monster during the end phase. Then there are 3 field spells. Fusion Recycling Plant. This card allows me to discard a card from my hand and add a polymerization or fusion type card from my deck to my hand. And also during the end phase I can add 1 card used as a fusion material from my graveyard back to my hand. Then there is 1 Fusion Substitute. This card is treated as a polymerization, so I can search it out, fusion summon a monster, and then I can banish it from my graveyard to return 1 fusion monster from the extra deck and draw a card. Next is 2 Instant Fusions. This card is used to bring back Norden, who soon will not be with us in the format, and to bring Thousand Eyes Restrict, which I have in my extra deck as well. And then there are 2 Mystical Space Typhoons, just to clear my opponent's back row. And then there is 1-for-1 to special summon Cordyceps in case of you needing 1 fusion material for summoning something and you have too many cards in your hand you cannot summon. And then there are only 2 polymerizations. With all these fusion cards, it's quite pointless to run 3 of the ordinary polys. Then there are 2 Predaplanting. This card is a monster reborn basically for Predaplant monsters. It equips to the monster its special summons, and once this card is destroyed, so is the Predaplant monster. Then there's Refusion. I can special summon a fusion monster from my graveyard by paying 800 life points, and this card equips to the monster special summoned, and once it's destroyed, the monster is destroyed as well. And then there's only 1 trap, Treacherous Trap Hole. It is the only trap in the deck because it works with 0 traps in your grave, so if I have no traps in my grave, I can target 2 monsters on the field and destroy them. Now I will get to the extra deck, which is mostly filled with fusion monsters. I think there's 9 fusion monsters, 3 synchros, and 3 XCs. Okay, the top of the deck is here, so that there, and let's start with Cyber Dragon, which is in this deck just because it's used to summon Malefic Cyber Dragon. Then there's Norden. We all know his effect. Once he's special summoned, I can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from my graveyard. Its effects are negated, and it is destroyed when this card leaves the field, or is it banished? Banished when this card leaves the field. Then there's First of the Dragons. It is used, it's special summoned with Gofu's tokens and polymerization card. It cannot be targeted. Well, can it be targeted? Just a second. Cannot be destroyed by battle except by battle with a normal monster, and it's unaffected by other monsters' effects. Then there are 2 Greedy Venom Fusion Dragons. This card is the main boss monster of this deck. So this card is used, you can summon this card with 1 Predaplant monster and 1 Dark monster whose original level is 8 or higher. Also, when this card is face up on the field, once per turn, I can target 1 monster, change its attack to 0 and negate its effects. And if this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you have to destroy as many monsters as possible. And I can banish 1 level 8 or higher Dark monster in the graveyard and special summon this card back to the field. Then there is Predaplant Chimeraphlasia. Chimeraphlasia, what she does is that once per turn I can banish one monster whose level is less than or equal to Camouflagia's, and whenever this card battles, the monster it battles loses 1000 attack, and Camouflagia gains that 1000 attack. Then there is Starving Venom Dragon. When this card is fusion summoned, I can target one of my opponent's one monster on the field and add its attack to the original attack of Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. So he just gains the attack for the end of that turn. Also, when this card is destroyed, well, once per turn I can target one level 5 or higher monster my opponent controls. Until the end of the turn, this card's name becomes that monster's original name, and its effect is replaced with with that monster's effect. Also, if this fusion card is destroyed, I can destroy all special summon monsters on the field. Then there's Thousand Eyes Restrict. This card is summoned only with instant fusion, if I can find it. Just a second. So with instant fusion, when this card, well, you mostly use this card for its effect. So you just target one of your opponent's monsters, take it, and this card has 9000. This card has its attack for till the end of the turn. Then we end with fusion monsters and move to 3 synchros. First one is Black Rose Dragon, used if you really need to just nuke the field to clear everything from it. Then there's Stardust Dragon, in case your opponent likes to destroy monsters. Also, I forgot to say that the tutor for this deck is Gofu. So yeah, with him you synchro summon. Then there's Stardust Charge Warrior. When this card is synchro summoned, I can draw a card, and this effect can be used only once per turn. And this card can attack all special summon monsters your opponent controls once each. And that should be it for our synchro monsters, and then we move to the, what are they called, Xyz monsters. First Xyz monster is Ghost Trick Alucard. What Alucard does is, when material is detached from him, you can pop one set card on the field, one of your opponent's set cards. Then there's a Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief. In this deck she's used just to either destroy opponent's monster with less than 2000 attack, or as a defense with 2500. She can be summoned in this deck only through overlaying over Alucard. And there's also one other Xyz monster, Super Quantum Mecha Beast Gramples. And what Gramples does is, I can detach Xyz material from this card and destroy one spell or trap card on the field. And yeah, this effect is, what's it called? This effect is a quick effect, so that's nice. So yeah, this card cannot attack if it doesn't have any Xyz materials. So yeah, that's it for the Predaplant deck build. Next week I hope I'll post some duels with this deck. Also, this deck is recorded before the ban list. I'm saying that just in case this video goes up after the ban list comes out. The thing is that our Maximum Crisis we've ordered will be arriving in this week. I at least hope it will. So yeah, I might post that video before this. So yeah, if you like this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you think something should be changed about this deck, leave it in the comments. If you have any ideas, comment section is all yours. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!